Well, it's September and a new GoPro has been announced. Finally, we can put all those rumours to rest regarding the GoPro HERO12 Black. Now, people like me get briefed on these cameras ahead of time, and it's been very difficult to keep quiet as I've seen lots of these rumours videos come out. But one thing we can finally say for certain is there is no 1-inch sensor. There was never going to be a 1-inch sensor for all the reasons that I outlined in my previous videos. So what's new on the GoPro HERO12 Black? One of the significant new features of the camera is much longer battery life. Efficiency gains have been made across the board. I don't know what the difference is internally between the HERO12 and the HERO11, but we have been assured that a lot of efficiency gains have been made, and that has enabled in some cases up to double the battery life. It also means that thermal shutdowns should hopefully be a thing of the past, at least in terms of the regularity that some users were having. For example, you can now record 58 minutes of 4K at 120 frames a second before thermal shutdown and your battery runs out. That's very significant indeed. At 5.3K at 60 frames a second, you can expect around 78 minutes of recording time. At 5.3K at 30 frames a second, you can expect around 90 minutes of runtime. Or if you're recording 1080, then you can get up to 155 minutes of recording. Now, GoPro has supplied these figures with Bluetooth turned on and Hypersmooth turned on, so there isn't any fudging going on here with features of the camera turned off. This is a fully fledged battery runtime with most of the features of the camera, including Hypersmooth, turned on. Now, I've been told by GoPro that the video encoding itself, although it is still at 120 megabits per second, they've made significant gains in how efficient that encoding is as well. One of the other major additions is the Max Lens Mod 2.0. Now, I was a big fan of the Max Lens Mod originally, but the reason I didn't use it anywhere as much as I would like to have done is because it didn't have a hydrophobic coating, so water droplets were an issue, and of course you were limited to 2.7K resolution recording. Now, the new Max Lens Mod 2.0 with the HERO12 Black can record 4K video up to 60 frames a second, and it can also go to 120 frames a second if you bring it down to 1080p as well. What's even better is that it also has a hydrophobic coating, so it should be useful for water sports, as well as a claimed 2 times scratch resistance compared to the original Max Lens Mod. So it should make it a bit more robust, given that it has that protruding glass, and also make it much more useful for a wider variety of sports. And the 4K 60 is going to be absolutely amazing. There's also a new log profile that has been made, and GoPro is going to supply various LUTs which you can use in your editing software to use alongside it. With the 10-bit color, this means that it should be way better to grade, and you won't need to keep using the native white balance setting to get a true flat profile. Although I haven't been told whether it uses the wide color gamut setting that you can usually enable within the Labs firmware, and that is normally employed with the native white balance setting, but I will endeavor to find this out as I test the camera. Now, those of you like me who are hoping that they would have made a new magnetic mount system very similar to DJI's are going to be a little bit disappointed. The fingers are still there, although finally GoPro has included a 1/4-inch screw thread on the base of the camera as well. I know that's going to make a lot of people very happy, although I would have liked to have seen a magnetic mount system. I can't stand doing thumb screws anymore. I just want to clip, unclip and put it on a new mount. I want to be able to move that camera around really quickly. Luckily, Ulanzi has actually made a system that you can replace the fingers with, which enables the camera to be compatible with DJI's mount, so I'll probably be employing that myself in the future. The general design of the camera is the same, and most of the resolutions are also the same as the HERO11, although it has to be noted that the new Max Lens Mod 2.0 can get an absolutely whopping 177 degrees angle of view using the Max Hyperview mode. This is much more significant than you might realize. During the briefing that we had, Nick Woodman let on that GoPro is in fact developing a new Max 360 camera. Given that the Max Lens Mod 2.0 can record 177 degrees angle of view at 4K 60, that is effectively one half of a 360 camera. So could it be that the new Max 360 camera will be able to record 4K 60 over capture resolution video? That's an intriguing possibility given what we see on the GoPro Hero 12 Black. Other features include the ability to use the 8x7 mode in all other capture modes such as night lapse and time lapse, and there is also a new photo interval mode which can take high resolution 27 megapixel stills at down to 0.5 second intervals. Now that's pretty useful. I often find myself wanting to do this with the high quality stills, and I can't bring the rate down fast enough for fast action, so the 0.5 second interval is pretty neat. So what's the difference between interval photo and the normal time-lapse mode? Because I know many of you listening to this will just say, well, hang on a minute, you've been able to do this before. Well, the difference between interval photo mode and the previous time-lapse mode, even if you're taking individual stills, is that time-lapse mode was designed to capture images over time, and therefore the exposure is supposed to be nice and smooth between images because it's designed to put together a sequence of stills or a video, whereas interval photo optimizes each individual shot for the lighting and exposure required at any given time. Another major addition is the HDR mode. Now this isn't HDR in the sense that it is designed to be sent to an HDR television. What it does is it actually combines or merges two frames of video to get your shadow and midtones and also your highlights captured. Now this is an advance over previous cameras, although you are more limited in the video modes and frame rates that you can use with this feature. Another new feature is Hypersmooth 6.0. In previous iterations of the camera, it's been pretty difficult to tell the difference between the different Hypersmooth versions, but in this case, the changes are fairly significant. We were shown a comparison between the Hero 11 in auto boost mode and the Hero 12 in auto boost mode, and the results were fairly significantly different. The Hero 12 was maintaining a much smoother image than the previous camera. Not only that, but the Hero 12 is able to do this while maintaining a much wider angle of view than the Hero 11 for the same amount of stabilization, and it achieves this by being able to analyze 4 times more data at any given point than the Hero 11. Another new feature that will make a lot of pro users happy who are using multiple cameras is that multiple Hero 12 cameras can be time synced to one another, making it much easier to perform multi-camera edits in software like DaVinci Resolve. The last significant new feature is the ability to use wireless earbuds over Bluetooth to record audio and also to send audio commands to the camera and get feedback as to what the camera is doing. So for example, you could use Apple AirPods and you could mount your camera on the bonnet of your car but record the sound coming from your earbuds inside the car, so you could give commentaries. Now this isn't quite as good as, say, native support for wireless microphones such as the Wireless Go from Rode, but it is a significant new step, and the new camera can connect up to 4 Bluetooth devices simultaneously as well. So if you're using the remote, for example, you don't have to sacrifice a connection in order to be able to use this earbud recording system. It works with any Bluetooth microphone. You're not just restricted to Apple AirPods, so you can use your microphone of choice. And although, as I say, it's not the same as being able to use a full pro microphone system, you'll have to use the media mod for that. It is a significant new addition and could be very useful indeed to a lot of users. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and like and subscribe if you like what I do.